CEO Victor Penev founded Edamam to bring better health to billions by helping make smarter food choices. For Eating the Gap, he teamed up with Foodpairing to identify personalized dishes for an immune-supporting diet.
Good afternoon. In the previous sessions, we heard that good nutrition is crucial for your health. Good nutrition can also boost your immune system. Hi, Victor. Good afternoon.
Good to be here.
Hi. Nice background. So, hi, Victor. What did Edamam do to support people in boosting their immune system?
So let me just give one sentence summary of what Edamam does. We are a data company focused on food and nutrition, and we organize food and nutrition data. We offer it through businesses to customers, companies like Nestle and Amazon and Microsoft and whatnot. And so when COVID struck, we saw an opportunity, having probably the largest database of recipes and meals out there, with all the nutrient information, diet and allergy information, to organize something that recommends to people to eat, because it became clear very, very quickly that in order to deal with the COVID disease efficiently, you have to be healthy. The most risky group was people with pre-existing conditions. So strong immune system was something that was needed, and that's what we set out to do. Figure out the meals and foods that people can eat so they can support their immunity and deal with the disease in a better way. Okay,
so what you did is actually you sent a list to us. So how did that list was generated?
Yeah, so the story is the following. We started looking at scientific literature very quickly to figure out if any studies have been done around what foods to eat to essentially cope with COVID-19. Now, for legal reasons, because we live in the United States as a company, we cannot say that's an anti-COVID diet. The FDA hasn't approved it, so we have to call it an immunity-supporting diet. But what we found out was that there were enough scientific papers from the previous coronaviruses, SARS and MERS in Asia, and then the first few months of infections in China and Italy, where scientists have gone and tried to identify foods that either improve immunity and coping with the disease or are detrimental. And so we gathered all this information. We partnered with a prominent nutritionist from the American Nutrition Association, who was on the board of the American Nutrition Association for COVID-19 reaction, and with another company who is a partner of ours called Personal Remedies. And we essentially identified all the nutrients and ingredients that are good for you, that can support your immune system. Then we ran that out across our 5 million recipes, and it's a complex algorithm because we have to balance all the nutrients and ingredients, and there are different scores, and they impact each other, and so on and so forth. But essentially, we developed an algorithm that can score any recipe as to how well it supports immunity. And we've ranked all those 5 million recipes. In truthfulness, only about 8% of the recipes make it kind of to the top of really good for you type of thing. There are ones that are okay, and then there are definitely, the deep fried, loaded with salt and sugar recipes that are probably things you shouldn't be eating.
No, absolutely. So your algorithm sent a number of recipes to us, which is really great because a lot of recipes from salmon to spinach salad to chia pudding to almond crackers, so many interesting recipes. But imagine that you don't know these recipes or you don't know these ingredients. How can you find then recipes that actually you will like? So there is where Flavor ID comes in. So how do you make a Flavor ID? So your Flavor ID is your personal flavor passport that helps you to discover the food you like. So you can also make your personal Flavor ID. If you go now on the my.flavor.id, you will see this. So if you register in this website, then in the next slide, you will see a number of ingredients that pop up. So for example, you see pan-fried potatoes, strawberry, raspberry, why is our algorithm asking these ingredients, how much you like them? Because our algorithm tries to understand what are the aromas and the components that actually drive your liking. So we're not interested in how much you like banana. We try to understand why you like banana. And what comes out is actually insight into the drivers of liking. So already in the previous sessions, you have seen that we had multiple flavor IDs. So you always have the two main drivers. In this case, it's about fruity and spicy, but then you can dive deeper, and it's also interactive. If you don't know what that means, fruity or spicy, you can scroll over it and you get all the information you want. So if you want to have your own flavor ID, go to myflavor.id. And for example, if you look at the next visualization, that's actually the flavor ID of Peter. So Peter, what can you tell about your flavor ID? And it's actually your flavor ID mainly for vegetables.
Yeah, indeed. So this is my flavor ID for vegetables. So the two main drivers are vegetables and animal. And animal is more meaty, so it's more for mushrooms where you have that meaty flavor.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you need to have meat. It's really
so
about
doesn't mean that the
molecules.
I love voilà. And then in the vegetable, it has more celery and sulfurous compounds. So sulfurous is then onion, garlic, cabbage-like. And then
you also see the other drivers.
The second two is then spicy, which is then more anise-like, so for fennel, aniseed, dill, and so on. And then also some roasted, so yeah, everything that is oven-baked, pan-fried has a higher score than...
So what we actually then did was we took Peter, his flavor ID, and crossed it with the data from Victor to really find out from all that big list of possible recipes, which recipe would Peter like the most? And Peter, what came out of the algorithm?
So one of the dishes that came out was asparagus with a flaxseed lemon herb dressing. So it's cooked asparagus with vinegar, with fresh herbs like chive and dill and parsley. And
also see some flaxseed oil.
Yeah, flaxseed oil. So the dill is reflecting to the anise in the spicy. The chive is then more to the vegetable, the sulfurous compounds.
And to the nutty and to...
And asparagus is one of my favorite vegetables in season. So
the algorithm does its work. But what the algorithm also can do is it can take this recipe and then look at, okay, what should we add to actually come even much more closer to your flavor ID.
Yeah, indeed. So if you take the herbs, so you have chive, which is reflecting to the sulfurous. Then you have dill, which is then has an anise-like flavor, but it is also an herb which has more anise-like notes in it, and that's tarragon. So here you can switch the dill to tarragon, so you have more that anise-like flavor. And then the second main aroma was the animal, so the meaty. So I already explained that meatiness is linked to more mushrooms. So you can add mushrooms to the salad. And I opt for shiitakes because that has a very meaty flavor.
Victor, if you look at the replacements we do, so we switch the dill for tarragon, we add additional mushrooms. What does your algorithm tell? Is that still a good COVID immune-boosting recipe?
Absolutely, it is. I think the basic things to realize is that plants are always better, and then colorful plants are very good because of the polyphenols, and then things that are spices and herbs are very immune supportive. So dill, tarragon, flax seeds, the mushrooms themselves have a lot of compounds that are positive for immune supporting So all of those substitutes are positive. And so the net effect on the immunity supportive capability of that recipe is definitely positive.
Okay, that's really great. So Peter,
and it looks very beautiful.
Yeah, it is. So Peter, this should be like your most favorite immune boosting recipe that you can imagine.
Yeah, indeed. And even we can add a little bit of sesame seed then to have the roasty notes of my flavor ID, which is also a very healthy, voila. And now you have a...
Okay, so you have Peter's most immune boosting recipe, which is asparagus with shiitakes, with tarragon, and with sesame seeds.
Yeah, indeed.
Great. Victor, thank you very much. I think the collaboration shows what is possible by combining insights from the nutrition with the flavor ID. We can really do marvelful things. So thank you for the collaboration.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you, Victor.
Bye.
And in the next session, we still continue on COVID, but this related to taste.